Avoid these 7 narcissistic husband pitfalls at all costs. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Are you building a relationship that thrives, or are you unintentionally walking into the traps that sabotage love, respect, and connection? Today, we're here to talk about something real, raw, and absolutely essential. As relationships get more and more digital, relationships are the foundation of our lives. When they're strong, we thrive. When they're toxic, they drain us. And one of the biggest obstacles to a thriving relationship is falling into the narcissistic husband pitfalls. But guess what? You have the power to avoid them. Let's dive into the 7 pitfalls and how to rise above them. It's all about me trap. A narcissistic mindset makes everything about you. You forget that a relationship is a partnership, not a solo act. Instead, make it about us. Shift from self-centered to other-centered. Ask yourself, how can I serve my partner today? The lack of empathy roadblock. Empathy is the glue that holds relationships together. Without it, you create emotional distance. If you're not listening to her heart, you're losing her trust. Learn to step into her shoes and truly understand her feelings. The need to control. Control isn't power, it's fear wearing a mask. Real strength comes from trust and collaboration. Let go of the reins and invite her into the decision-making process. Partnership beats dictatorship every single time. The dismissive attitude. If you're brushing off her needs, her dreams, or her struggles, you're building a wall between you. Honor her voice. Acknowledge her concerns. Validation is a gift you can give every single day. Neglecting gratitude. Taking her for granted is the fastest way to make her feel invisible. Pause, look her in the eyes, and thank her for everything she does, big or small. Gratitude doesn't just fill her cup, it strengthens your bond. Avoiding vulnerability. A narcissistic mindset sees vulnerability as weakness, but in reality, it's your greatest strength. Share your fears, your dreams, and your truth. Vulnerability opens the door to deeper intimacy and trust. Prioritizing ego over love. When your ego runs the show, love takes a back seat. Drop the need to always be right. Choose connection over conflict. Prioritize the relationship over your pride. The call to action, be the husband she deserves. Now's the time to step up. Great husbands aren't born, they're made through intention, effort, and growth. These 7 pitfalls don't define you unless you let them. Today, commit to breaking free from these traps. Commit to showing up for her with love, respect, and empathy. Be the man who not only avoids these pitfalls, but builds a relationship so strong that nothing can shake it. Because when you rise, your relationship rises with you. So, are you ready to transform your love life? Are you ready to step into the best version of yourself? Let's make it happen right here, right now. What's the one thing? What's the one thing for today, this week, this month for you? Go out there and be the husband she deserves. And while you're at it, be the man you're proud to be. Please keep stealing in there. Keep stealing. Shift from me to we. Let me tell you something powerful. A great relationship isn't a solo journey. It's a partnership, a dance where both people move in sync. The moment you step into the mindset of we instead of me, you ignite a force greater than yourself. You build a connection that can weather any storm because it's not just about you anymore. It's about us. Connection. Most men stumble because they think love is about their needs being met. They focus on their comfort, their goals, their world. But here's the truth. A relationship that's all about me isn't a relationship at all. It's a dictatorship. When you make it about we, you unleash the full potential of love. You stop counting wins and losses, and you start building something extraordinary together. Think about it. When you're in the me zone, every argument feels like a battle to be won. But when you shift to we, it's no longer about winning, it's about growing. You realize you're not on opposite sides of the battlefield, you're on the same team. That's a game changer. Me thrives on control, but we thrives on connection. When you focus on the we, you don't just meet her halfway. You walk alongside her every step of the way. It's not about compromise, it's about collaboration. It's not about giving up something. It's about building something together. You have to make space in the world to really thrive. And for me, forgiveness is the freedom to finally have those relationships with my parents. Values, how do you make this shift? Start by asking better questions. Instead of what do I want, ask what do we need? Instead of how can she make me happy, ask how can I make us stronger? The quality of your questions determines the quality of your relationship. When you're in the me mindset, you see her needs as obstacles. But when you embrace we, her needs become opportunities. Opportunities to show up, opportunities to serve, opportunities to deepen the connection. Every moment becomes a chance to build the relationship we both deserve. The me mindset is reactive. It waits for love to come its way. But the we mindset is proactive. It creates love every single day. You don't wait for her to show appreciation. You show it first. You don't wait for her to make an effort. You lead by example. Love is an action, not a waiting game. And let's talk about leadership. In a relationship, leadership isn't about dominance. It's about guidance. It's about stepping up and saying, I'm committed to this. I'm committed to us. When you lead with love, you inspire her to do the same. You set the tone for a partnership built on trust, respect, and unwavering commitment. The me mindset creates walls. The we mindset builds bridges. Those walls keep you safe, sure, but they also keep you alone. When you build bridges, you create a path to understanding, intimacy, and true partnership. That's where the magic happens. And the third one, the really common universal one, is compassion and understanding. Helping others is full of compassion, love, and empathy. You see, the me mindset is rooted in fear. Fear of losing control, fear of being vulnerable, fear of not being enough. But the we mindset is rooted in love. Love doesn't fear, it embraces. It opens doors. It takes risks. And in doing so, it creates something beautiful. When you shift to we, you're not just transforming your relationship, you're transforming yourself. You become more patient, more understanding, more present. You become the partner she deserves and the man you're proud to be. Here's the kicker. The shift from me to we isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. Every conversation, every disagreement, every moment together is an opportunity to choose we over me. It's a muscle you strengthen over time, and the results are worth it. This is how you build a love that lasts. A love that doesn't just survive, but thrives. A love that grows deeper, stronger, and more fulfilling with each passing day. And it all starts with one simple yet powerful choice: to make it about us. As we finish today's class, we will all think about this. Is there something on our wish list today that we need to do? Cultivate empathy daily. Empathy is not just a skill, it's a superpower. It's the ability to step into someone else's world, see through their eyes, and feel with their heart. In a relationship, empathy is the bridge that connects two souls. It's the key to understanding, compassion, and lasting love. Without it, your connection crumbles under misunderstanding and emotional distance. Differences of thought, allegiance, expression, and action. Most people think empathy is just about listening, but it's so much more. It's about hearing what's beneath the words. It's about recognizing her struggles, her joys, and her fears, even when she doesn't say them outright. It's about being present enough to notice the subtle shifts in her tone, her body language, her energy. That's where the real connection happens. Let's be real. It's easy to get caught up in your own perspective. You're busy, you're tired, and you've got your own challenges. But empathy asks you to pause, to set aside your world for a moment and step into hers. That pause is where love grows. It's where trust is built. It's where you remind her that she's seen, heard, and valued. She has no more doubts, no more fears. She settles down. So here's the thing about empathy. It's not about fixing her problems. It's not about offering solutions or advice unless she asks for it. It's about holding space for her to express herself. It's about saying, I'm here, I hear you, I see you. That alone can be more powerful than any solution you could offer. Empathy requires presence. You can't practice it if you're distracted, if you're on your phone, or if your mind is elsewhere. When she's sharing her feelings, give her your full attention. Look her in the eyes. Listen, not just to respond, but to understand. That kind of presence is rare, and it's priceless. When you cultivate empathy daily, you create an environment where she feels safe to be herself. She doesn't have to hide her feelings or pretend to be okay. She knows you'll meet her with understanding, not judgment. And that safety is the foundation of a deep, lasting connection. But let's be clear, empathy isn't always easy. It requires humility. It asks you to set aside your ego, your need to be right, and your instinct to defend yourself. It challenges you to see the situation from her perspective, even when it's uncomfortable. But that's where growth happens. So I wrote him back, basically, empathy isn't just for the big moments, the arguments, the heartbreaks, the struggles. It's for the everyday moments too. It's for when she's sharing a small frustration about her day. It's for when she's excited about something that might seem insignificant to you. Those little moments are opportunities to show her that you care. When you practice empathy, you learn to anticipate her needs. You start to notice the things that bring her joy and the things that weigh her down. You become attuned to her emotions, her energy, her unspoken desires. And that awareness allows you to show up for her in ways that truly matter. Empathy also deepens your own understanding of love. It teaches you that love isn't about what you can get. It's about what you can give. It's about being there for her, even when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. It's about choosing to understand, even when it's easier to dismiss. That's what real love looks like. And here's the truth. When you cultivate empathy for her, you also cultivate empathy for yourself. You start to see your own struggles and emotions with more compassion. You start to realize that being human means being imperfect, and that's okay. Empathy transforms not just your relationship, but your entire outlook on life. Every day you have a choice. You can react with impatience, frustration, or indifference, or you can respond with empathy. You can choose to connect, to understand, to love. And those choices add up. They shape the kind of partner you are, the kind of relationship you build, and the kind of legacy you leave. Empathy isn't a destination, it's a journey. It's a daily commitment to showing up with an open heart and a listening ear. It's a practice, a mindset, a way of life. And when you embrace it, you don't just create a better relationship. You create a better version of yourself. At least the need to control. Control is an illusion. It's a cage we build around ourselves to feel safe, but in reality, it isolates us from the very people we love. The need to control doesn't create connection, it kills it. In a relationship, control is a wall, but trust and collaboration are bridges. To love deeply, you must let go of control and embrace freedom, trust, and partnership. Why do we try to control? Let's be honest, it's fear. Fear of uncertainty, fear of vulnerability, fear of not being enough. When you try to control, what you're really saying is, I don't trust myself and I don't trust her. But here's the truth. Trust isn't given, it's earned. And it's earned by letting go of control and stepping into faith. Faith in her, faith in the relationship, and faith in yourself. Control shows up in subtle ways. It's not just about micromanaging decisions. It's the little comments, the criticism disguised as advice, the constant need to have things your way. These actions might feel like you're maintaining order, but what you're really doing is stifling her voice. When she feels unheard, she feels undervalued. Releasing control doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you start trusting. It means you trust her to make decisions, to express her opinions, and to handle challenges in her way. It means you respect her autonomy, her wisdom, and her strength. And when she feels trusted, she feels empowered. Letting go of control doesn't weaken your role in the relationship, it strengthens it. It allows you to focus on what truly matters: connection, understanding, and support. When you're not busy trying to control, you have the space to listen, to love, and to grow together. Think about it. Would you rather be feared or respected? Would you rather have compliance or collaboration? Control might get you short-term results, but it never builds long-term loyalty. Respect and trust, on the other hand, create a foundation that stands the test of time. Control is rooted in ego, but love is rooted in humility. Love doesn't say, do it my way. Love says, let's figure this out together. Love doesn't demand submission. It invites partnership. It's not about one person leading. It's about both of you walking side by side. Letting go of control requires vulnerability. It means admitting that you don't have all the answers, and that's okay. It means being open to her perspective, even when it challenges yours. It means recognizing that her way might not only be different, but better. And that takes courage. When you release control, you make room for authenticity. She doesn't have to shrink herself to fit your expectations. She can be her full, vibrant self, and that's the version of her you fell in love with. By letting go, you allow her to shine, and her light makes your relationship brighter. The pre-verbal communication. Releasing control also means embracing flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and so are relationships. When you're rigid, you break under pressure, but when you're flexible, you adapt, you grow, and you thrive. Flexibility is the key to resilience, and resilience is the key to lasting love. This isn't about letting go completely, it's about letting go strategically. Focus on controlling the one thing you can, your own actions and reactions. Show up as the best version of yourself. Communicate with love, listen with intention, and lead with humility. When you control yourself, you don't need to control her. Understand. The irony is that letting go of control actually gives you more power. Not over her, but over your relationship. It creates an environment where both of you feel valued, heard, and respected. And that kind of partnership is unstoppable. This is the depth of growth that we're up against. For example, how many of you feel that your dating is going badly? Remember, love isn't about possession, it's about freedom. It's about creating a space where both of you can grow, thrive, and be your true selves. When you let go of control, you give her the gift of freedom. And in return, you gain the gift of a deeper, more fulfilling love. So ask yourself, what are you holding on to that you need to release? What would happen if you let go of control and leaned into trust? The answer is simple. You'd create the kind of relationship you've always dreamed of. Listen and validate her feelings. Listening is one of the simplest yet most powerful acts of love you can offer. But let me ask you this, are you really listening or are you just hearing words? There's a difference. Hearing is passive, it's letting sound enter your ears. But listening, that's active, it's intentional. It's stepping into her world and making her feel understood, valued, and seen. So validation is the next level of listening. It's not just hearing her words, it's acknowledging her emotions. When she shares her feelings, it's not about agreeing or fixing the situation. It's about making her feel like her experience matters. Validation says, your feelings are real, your emotions are important. You have every right to feel the way you do. Here's the truth, women don't want solutions as much as they want to be heard. Men often rush to fix things, thinking it's the way to show love. But what she really needs is for you to hold space for her, to sit with her and her emotions without trying to change them, to simply say, I'm here and I'm listening. That's where connection is born. Listening isn't just about words, it's about presence. It's about putting down your phone, turning off the TV, and giving her your undivided attention. When she's talking, look into her eyes, nod, lean in, and show her with your body language that you're fully engaged. Presence is the loudest way to say, you matter. And let's be clear, listening isn't waiting for your turn to speak. It's not about crafting your response while she's talking. It's about being fully immersed in her words. Ask yourself, what is she really saying? What is she feeling beneath her words? When you listen with curiosity, you unlock a deeper level of understanding. Validation doesn't mean you have to agree with everything she says. It's not about conceding your perspective. It's about respecting hers. You can say, I understand why you feel that way without compromising your own truth. Validation is about honoring her experience, not invalidating your own. Validating, when you listen and validate, you build trust. She starts to feel safe sharing her deepest thoughts and emotions with you. And when she feels safe, the relationship thrives. Trust isn't built in the grand gestures, it's built in these small moments of connection. Listening also teaches you about her world. It helps you understand her dreams, her fears, and her unique way of seeing life. This understanding is the foundation of intimacy. The more you know her, the closer you feel to her. And that closeness is what keeps love alive. So, validation is the antidote to defensiveness. In moments of conflict, instead of jumping to defend yourself, try acknowledging her feelings first. Say, I hear you, I can see why you're upset. This simple act diffuses tension and creates a space for resolution. Instead of getting a gasp up, for example, say how you're feeling, appreciate it. When you validate her, you're not just supporting her, you're empowering her. You're saying your voice matters, your feelings matter, you matter. This empowerment strengthens her confidence, her happiness, and ultimately your relationship. So what is the value of accomplishment? Growth causes it. Enjoy all the time. Listening and validating also require humility. It means setting aside your need to be right or to win the argument. It means choosing connection over ego. And that choice, day after day, builds a bond that's unshakable. The next event was great. I grew extremely close with one of my really dear friends. We absolutely trusted each other. That trust builds. And that trust, here's a secret. When you make her feel heard, she'll do the same for you. Listening is contagious. When you model empathy and validation, she mirrors it back to you, and that creates a relationship where both of you feel supported, understood, and valued. Every day is an opportunity to practice, whether it's a small comment about her day or a deep conversation about her dreams. Listen with your whole heart. Validate her feelings with your words and actions. Show her that you're not just in the relationship, you're invested in it. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. There will be moments when you slip, when you miss the mark, when you forget to listen. But what matters is that you keep trying, that you show up again and again with an open mind, an open heart, and a willingness to grow. Prioritize emotional safety. Emotional safety is the bedrock of every thriving relationship. Without it, love feels uncertain, trust feels fragile, and communication becomes a battlefield. But when emotional safety is present, something incredible happens. Both partners feel free to express, to connect, to be their truest selves. And that freedom is where intimacy grows. So what is emotional safety? It's the assurance that your relationship is a safe space, a place where both of you can share your thoughts, feelings, and fears without judgment or ridicule. It's knowing that no matter how messy, vulnerable, or imperfect you are, you'll be met with love, respect, and understanding. Building emotional safety starts with consistency. If your words and actions don't align, she won't feel secure. If one day you're attentive and the next you're distant, she'll begin to question whether she can rely on you. Consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about being dependable. It's about showing up day after day as a partner she can trust. Emotional safety thrives on empathy. When she shares her feelings, your first response should never be dismissal or defensiveness. Instead, lean in. Acknowledge her experience. Show her that you're not just hearing her words, you're feeling her emotions. Empathy says, I'm with you in this. But let's be honest, creating emotional safety isn't always easy. It requires patience, especially in moments of conflict. When emotions run high, the instinct to defend yourself can be strong. But in those moments, pause, take a breath. Remind yourself that the goal isn't to win the argument. It's to protect the relationship. And here's the truth. Emotional safety means handling her vulnerability with care. When she opens up about her fears, her insecurities, her dreams, she's offering you something precious. If you respond with criticism or indifference, you risk shutting that door. But if you respond with love and support, you build a connection that's unshakable. But it's not just about the big conversations, it's about the small moments too. When she shares a fleeting thought or a minor frustration, how you respond matters. Dismiss her and she'll hesitate to share again. Validate her and she'll feel safe to keep opening up. Emotional safety is built one interaction at a time. The change in the room is within one interaction at a time. Emotional safety also requires accountability. If you've made a mistake, own it. Apologize sincerely, not defensively. Taking responsibility shows her that you value her feelings and that you're committed to growth. It's not about being perfect, it's about being willing to repair and rebuild when things go wrong. One of the biggest threats to emotional safety is contempt. Sarcasm, ridicule, or dismissive comments might seem harmless in the moment, but they create cracks in the foundation of your relationship. If you wouldn't say it to someone you deeply respect, don't say it to her. Build her up, don't tear her down. Emotional safety also means respecting boundaries. If she says she needs space, give it to her. If she shares something in confidence, honor that trust. Respecting her boundaries shows her that you value her autonomy and that she can rely on you to respect her needs. But emotional safety isn't just about her, it's about you too. A relationship is a two-way street, and you deserve to feel safe as well. Be honest about your own needs, fears, and feelings. When both of you prioritize emotional safety, you create a partnership where both people thrive. So the power of emotional safety is that it creates resilience. Life will throw challenges your way, but when the relationship feels like a safe haven, you'll face those challenges together. You'll navigate the storms with grace because you know you have each other's backs.